Hey there, my workplace warriors. Your job search feels stuck, and I want you to get unstuck. That's why today we're looking at a part of your job search process, and that's your networking. And we're going to look at it and figure out how to do it in a way that you don't sound salesy. A lot of job seekers are working hard on their search, but they're still not getting the traction that they need. They're applying, they're updating documents, they're trying to stay encouraged, but the results are not matching the effort. So, if you're not familiar with me, I'm Cynthia with HR by Nnamtique, and I help job seekers use a clearer, smarter, more practical job search strategy. So, today we're talking about networking without feeling salesy. And I want to make it simple that it's not about being perfect. It's about not even about sounding fancy. It is about making your value easier to understand for the person who is reading, screening, or interviewing you. Here's the promise for today. You will walk away understanding why job seekers avoid networking because it feels awkward, needy, or too much like asking for a favor. And you'll walk away with a practical way to fix it using my 10-minute advice chat. So let's get started. The first thing to understand is that employers are not reading your materials like a biography. They're reading them like a match test. They are asking, does this person understand the role that I have available? Can this person solve the problems we have? Does this person have proof? And can I quickly see why this candidate belongs in this process? That is why networking without feeling salesy matters. When your message is unclear, the reader has to do extra work. And in a busy hiring process, extra work normally means your application gets skipped. And we do not want that. This can happen to people in every field. A project manager may have strong process skills, but hide them under vague language. A UX designer may know how to manage complex operations, but describe the work like routine administration. A logistics coordinator may have valuable project experience, but never connect it to timelines, budgets, quality, safety, customer service, or business results. You see, the problem is not always your experience. Sometimes the problem is how your experience is being framed. And the common mistake is trying to sound broad, so more employers will be interested. And I understand why you would do that. I've been there. When you are nervous, it feels safer to say, I can do a lot of things. I'm open. I'm flexible. I just need someone to give me a chance. But broad is not always helpful. Broad can look unfocused. Broad can make a recruiter wonder what role you actually want. Broad can make your best strengths disappear because everything is competing for attention. So here's the shift. Do not try to make one message fit every possible job. Build the message around the role you are pursuing this week. And if you're targeting teacher, moving into training roles, your materials should show the skills, the tools, the problems, and the outcomes connected to that lane. If you're targeting municipal planner roles, the proof should be different. If you're targeting quality assurance specialist roles, the examples should show the kind of value that audience understands. So, this does not mean that you're changing the way or who you are. It means you're choosing which part of your experience to bring forward and highlight. So, just what does good positioning look like? It's clear. It tells the reader three things quickly. Number one, it tells them what kind of work you're aiming for. Number two, it tells them what problems you can help solve. And number three, it gives proof that you have done related work before. That proof does not always need to be a big number. Sometimes proof is scope. Sometimes it's volume. Sometimes it is risk level. Sometimes it is the type of stakeholder you supported. And sometimes it is the complexity of the environment. For example, instead of saying supported daily operations, a stronger statement might say supported daily operations across a multi site service team by tracking requests, coordinating deadlines, and improving follow up communication. Do you hear the difference? The second version gives the reader context, something to hold on to. It tells them the environment, the action, and the value. So, let me give you a simple way to work through this, and I call it the 10-minute advice chat. Step one, choose one target role for this content piece. Not five, not 10, one. Step two, collect 3 job postings for that same type of role. They should be similar enough to the same resume or profile would make sense and would make sense for all three. And then step three, highlight the words and responsibilities that repeat across each one of those job postings. Look for patterns, not random phrases. Pay attention to the skills, tools, outcomes, customer groups, systems, and problems that each indicates. Then, step four, compare those patterns to your experience and ask yourself for each one, where have I done something similar? Where have I solved a related problem? Where have I worked with a similar stakeholder group? Where have I improved speed, quality, accuracy, compliance, cost, service, revenue, safety, or communication? Step five, rewrite the content so the match is obvious. This is where many job seekers stop too early. They identify the right words, but they do not connect those words to proof. That is why the proof matters. So, to drive this home, let's look at a quick example. And it's going to be a simple one. A job posting asks for someone who can manage competing priorities, coordinate stakeholders, track deliverables, and improve workflow. A weak version says responsible for coordinating department projects. A stronger version says coordinated cross functional projects, tasks, track timelines, followed up with stakeholders, and improved visibility into delays so the team could respond sooner. That version is stronger because it shows action plus value. It does not just say you were responsible, it shows what you did and why it mattered. This same idea works across industries. A project manager can show cost, process, vendor, and timing impact. A UX designer can show patient flow, compliance, scheduling, and service outcome. A logistics coordinator can show timeline, control, team coordination, safety, quality, and resource use. So, the field may change as you can see, but the principle stays the same. Make the value visible. So, let's do your self audit because we want this to be real and something that you can apply immediately to enhance your job search. So, ask yourself 4 questions this week. Question 1: can a stranger understand my target role in 10 seconds? Can a recruiter see proof that I fit that role? Am I using role language naturally? Or am I forcing keywords where they do not belong? Or question 4: did I remove details that distract from the role I want now? That last question is so important because sometimes the problem is not that your content is missing information. Sometimes the problem is that it has too much unrelated information. That's a distraction. You do not need to bring every job, every task, and every skill into the front of the conversation. Lead with what matters most for the role you are pursuing. So, my encouragement to you today is to know that I know this can feel like a lot, especially if you've been applying for a while and not hearing back. But I want you to remember this silence, or I want you to remember that silence from employers do not automatically mean that you are unqualified. Sometimes it means your value is not clear enough yet. And this is something that you can actually fix. So be encouraged. You can tighten the message. You can choose a clearer target. You can bring better proof forward and you can stop making the reader guess. And when you do that, your materials start working harder for you. You're not working harder. You understand that? Your materials are working harder for you, which is their role. So, so let's do a 20-minute field test. Before you publish, send, or upload the revised version, do one more field test. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Open the role you want on one side of your screen and open your content on the other side. For the first 5 minutes, look only for alignment. And by the way, your content is your resume. Do the words, skills, and proof points point toward the same kind of work? For the next 5 minutes, look only for proof. Where do you show scope, volume, quality, speed, accuracy, cost, risk, service, or stakeholder impact? For the next 5 minutes, look for distractions. What is true but not helpful for this role? What belongs lower on the page? What can be shortened? For the final 5 minutes, read it out loud. If it sounds generic, it probably needs one more pass. If it sounds clear, specific, and easy to understand, you're much closer. That's where you want to be. This, this is the kind of small routine that separates a random job search from a strategic one. You do not need to rebuild everything every day. You need a repeatable process that helps you improve the right things. So, if you want help in comparing your materials to a job posting, check out the HRBN job search system and tracker. I'm telling you, I developed this tool especially for you today. And it is going to help you look at the role, identify what matters, and type your positioning. And if you want deeper support with your full job search strategy, my Career Search RX coaching program can help you build the structure, confidence, and accountability to move forward. So before you go, tell me in the comments what part of your job search needs the most clarity right now. Is it your target role, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your interview stories, or your follow up system? And that will let me know what types of content to continue to send your way. And before you go, I just want to say thank you for watching. Remember to give me a like to let the algorithms know that this is valuable content that other job seekers can definitely use. Also, share this content with your group of people, with your network. So I'm sure you know someone else who is on that same journey as you to live their very best career life. And that's my goal for you. Then, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. I drop new content regularly, and I want you to be amongst the first to know when my new content drops. Also, with every piece of content that I drop, make sure to check out the description box or the pinned comment section because I do regular training as well. I have a regular workshop that I do as well as job search process and career question and answer sessions where I answer your questions about the job search process and career related questions that you have as well. So, looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But remember that your experience has value. And don't forget that your job is to make the value clear enough for the right opportunity to recognize it. See you in the next video.